The child stood, stoic, defiant, his untrusting stare halved by the wide brim of the night trucker's cap, pulled down low on the brow, protection, a veil almost. The drive home had been arduous with its tense silence, attempts to reassure and create some level of connection and trust, stifled by the young passenger's unwillingness to participate in any conversation. I'd glanced across at my wife as we drove home, my own trepidation reflected on her face. We'd thought about becoming foster carers for many years without putting a lot of thought into it, until recently. We decided to complete the required process and become eligible foster carers for the thousands of children who'd been removed from their home for a myriad of different reasons, most disturbing, all heartbreaking. We decided on emergency short-term placement, taking children who'd been removed from a situation that put them in danger. Our 10-year-old passenger had been removed by police and family services only hours before joining us in the car. We were unclear of the details of the night before, but they were an unnecessary part of our current situation. We just had a short period of time to show Ben he was safe, cared for and welcome in our home. As Ben stood anchored to the ground beside the car, the captain wandered from behind the house to look upon the visitor. Ben turned his gaze to the captain and instantly something in his stoic facade softened. The captain was always hesitant and cautious of anybody new entering his property. He too had put his trust in many people in his relatively short existence, only to be disappointed and frightened by their treatment. "Would you like to come inside and have a look around, Ben?" my wife asked. Ben shook his head slowly, his gaze never leaving the captain. This was the first acknowledgement that Ben had given to any question so far. A tiny step in the right direction, perhaps. The captain held Ben's stare, lifting his nose as if to catch a whiff of the intruder. I wondered to myself if the captain felt a connection with Ben through their shared vulnerability. The captain was the first to break the connection. He abruptly turned and strode off to do whatever it was he was doing prior to Ben's arrival. Ben was in an obvious quandary. Does he follow the captain or engage us? Just then a gentle northeast breeze swirled its way through the sporadic gums, grazing cattle and their manure, combining to create an earthy, pleasant, almost sweet odour. Fresh and cool, it caressed Ben's half-hidden face, and he instinctively turned to breathe it deep into his lungs, and for the first time surveyed his surroundings. 500 unimpeded acres greeted his eyes. His chin lifted ever so slightly, and for the first time since picking Ben up, we saw the entire outline of his face. His body seemed to relax, and tension fell away as he drank in his surroundings. "We're just going to duck inside and grab a cold drink and a sandwich, mate," I told Ben. "Feel free to have a look around." My wife and I retreated to the house to breathe and debrief. A short time later I walked out with a sandwich and a lemonade for Ben. He wasn't where we had left him. I walked around the house and found Ben sitting under the large fig tree in the corner of the yard. The captain, sharing the same shade, sat just metres away. I placed the sandwich and drink beside Ben and turned to leave. "What's his name?" Ben asked. The words soft, a whisper even. My heart hurt for the effort for Ben to open his armour and engage me. "This is the captain, Ben. He's an Illawarra Shorthorn and we rescued him from a dairy farm to raise him as our pet." I walked over to where the captain lay, crouched down and scratched him under the chin. The captain raised his head and stretched out his neck to enjoy the attention. "Come on, give him a scratch, mate." Ben moved slowly over to the captain and sat beside him, tentatively stroking him under the chin. The captain put his soft nose in Ben's face, a greeting. Ben smiled, no teeth, but a smile. The boy's eyes positively shone in response to the captain's greeting. The moment was golden. Although the memories of the night before could not be erased, this interaction with the captain, a respite. It was then that this beautiful moment was slightly fractured by the captain, regurgitating some cud and recycling half-chewed grass and bile gases directly into Ben's face. "Yuck!" Ben exclaimed, smiling and laughing, actually laughing. "That stinks!" We laughed together, our eyes connected. It's then I noticed that the brim of Ben's night trucker's cap sat high on his brow. The veil lifted. The moment not lost on myself, but oblivious was the instigator who sat, eyes half shut, chewing his cud. Ben lifted his face to the cool breeze. One hand brought the sandwich to his mouth to be eagerly devoured. The other rested gently on the captain.